Dear students, I am Santan, working as a physics faculty in Target English Medium School. Today, in this part 2 video from the chapter of refraction of light at plane surfaces, we discussed about what is the lateral displacement. It is already discussed. So means what you can find means how to find lateral shift or lateral displacement by the mathematical formula. And after that we discussed what is the principle of reversibility. These two topics mainly I covered in this part video. So now let me come. First our concept is how to find lateral shift or lateral displacement produced by a rectangular glass slab when the light is passing through it mathematically, or simply a mathematical expression to find the what is that one lateral shift produced by the body. And with help of that one also we can find the thickness of the glass slab also. That's why, so in this topic mainly in this activity you can mainly cover two topics. One is how to find lateral displacement mathematically, and the second one is thickness of a glass slab. These two things we discuss in this time. So, all of you students, listen very carefully. So, already you know that how to find this thing means it is as x O next O y p z. We can say. Already we know about this diagram because of in the previous two videos I clearly explained this one, but once again I say that first of all we can take a white sheet of paper. It is placed on the like this one. For example, if we can take a rectangular a white sheet of paper, it is fixed on a drawing board like this one. It is the drawing board, you can see that. Now we can take a rectangular glass slab. The glass slab is fixed placed at the middle of the paper and draw the boundaries like this. And after this one, so now the boundaries we can say as A, B, C, D. The vertices of the rectangular glass slab we consider as A, B, C, D. After that, now we draw any normal for the AB surface at any one point. This is the N, M. N, M is the normal for the surface AB surface, where the normal and AB both are coincide. That point we can say as a O. Now we place a protractor as shown in the figure. So with help of the protractor we made an incident angle. That is maybe 30 degrees like we can say that. That's why after put that dot, this dot we can join up to the O. So this is the X, it is the O. XO we are called as incident ray. Here XO we are called incident ray. The angle between incident ray and normal is called angle of incident. That is angle I. That is what I say here, angle I. After that, now we can take the two pins. The two pins we fix here. One pin P, another one is the Q. So two pins P and Q we fixed on the incident ray in vertical mode. After that, now we can come to the CD side and we can fix the another two pins R and S. R and S, for example here R and S in the other side of the CD. When this PQRS all are appears into a straight line. After that, remove the glass slab from the paper, and so these two R and S circles are joined up to the which one CD, where this line is made the CD. At that point we draw a normal for the CD surface. It is the N dash M dash accordingly. That's why here listen carefully. N M is the normal for the EB surface. N dash M dash is the normal for CD. Like this one I can say that. So now here, after that, so this point where N dash M dash meet the CD, that is we can say as a P. Now we can join O to P with a straight line. So this is represented the refracted ray. The angle between refracted ray and the normal is called angle of refraction. That is angle R. That is you know that. Here XO is the incident ray, OP is the refracted ray, and PM means this P it is N we can say that. Sorry, PZ. PZ. This ray we can say as a emergent ray. That's why it is which ray? Emergent ray. The angle between emergent ray and normal is called angle of emergency. Now here, so these are the common factor to us. Now in this one, the thickness of the glass slab is T, means from A to B. Here we can say that. So we can, after placing like this one, we can run. Okay, A, B, C, D. That's why this one. Okay, this is called, what is that one here to here? This distance we can say as a thickness of the glass slab. So that is we are represented with the T. Now our concept is what is that one? Lateral shift. How we can find the lateral shift mathematically? That is one. That's why. So here you know that already. What is the lateral shift or lateral displacement? Means the perpendicular distance between initial path of the incident ray and the emergent ray. We are called which one? Lateral shift. That's why here this is the emergent ray. It is which one? Initial path of the incident ray. That's why where the emergent ray will be start at point P. That's why from this one means we draw. Okay. Here we are observing that so it is we can say as a Q. So means here this incident, it is the initial path of the incident ray. Emergent ray is starting from here. That's why the perpendicular distance from the emergent ray and the incident ray, initial path of the incident ray, this is called lateral shift. The lateral shift we can say as a X. X is the lateral shift or lateral displacement because of it is the perpendicular distance between emergent ray and initial path of the incident ray. So now here let me come to our topic. So which one we can find lateral shift? Before that, first here we are observing that P, Q, O. But one more thing here. The angle between incident ray and normal is called angle of incident. The angle between refracted ray and normal is called angle of refraction. the angle between emergent ray and normal is called angle of emergency. And one more thing here, we want this angle is also. So actually here, this total angle, what is that one? Angle I, because of it is the incident ray, it is the normal. The angle between incident and normal is called angle I. But what is this angle? That's right. This total angle is I, it is R. Then what is this angle? Angle I minus angle R. R, that is the angle of I minus R. Is it correct or not? Because of, for example, it is the 30, it is the 15. 30 minus 15, the meaning this one is there. That is the meaning of. That's why this is angle I minus angle R. That is what is there. Simply angle of I minus R. That is you can. Now here PQO is appears as a right angle triangle, and also MOP, it is also appear a right angle triangle. Is it correct or not? So in this one you are observing that in this right angle triangle, okay, this is the angle means it is the opposite side, it is the adjacent side, it is the hypotenuse. For the MOP, so this is the angle means it is the opposite, it is the adjacent, it is the hypotenuse. So now first of all from PQO POQ, whatever that may be. From triangle POQ, from POQ, sine of I minus R here, from POQ means this part. What is this angle? I minus R. Sine of I minus R is equals to, what is the sin theta formula? Sin theta is nothing but opposite side by hypotenuse. What is the opposite side? PQ. Hypotenuse is PO. That's why PQ upon PO. Listen very carefully. This is the angle. For the sin theta formula is according to trigonometry function. Opposite side by hypotenuse. For this one, what is the opposite side? This one means PQ line is the opposite and PO is the adjacent. That's why PQ upon PO. Then sine of I minus R. PO transfer to this side. PO is equals to, what is that one? PQ. So what is the PQ value? X. That's why in the place of X means sine of I minus R. PO is equals to X. It is the equation number 1. We can start. So here next from the MOP, from triangle or right angle triangle MOP, MOP or POM, we can consider POM. So from POM, what is that here? Angle R is there. That's why cos R is equals to, cos theta is equals to, what is the formula? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. That's why for this one, it is the theta means R. For this one, it is the adjacent side, it is the opposite, it is the hypotenuse. But cos R is nothing but adjacent side by hypotenuse. What is the adjacent side? OM. OM upon, okay, OP or PO. Is it correct or not? PO, you can write that. Here, MO, first you can write that MO. MO means MO upon PO. Because of, for this angle, it is the adjacent side, it is the hypotenuse. Then here we are observing that MO means, this MO means, so M is here, O is here. This is called, what is that one? MO is nothing but AC, means like this one. This is called, what is that one? Thickness. Actually here it is called thickness of the glass slab. That's right. Cos R is equals to T upon PO. Then here you are observing that PO cos R is equals to T. Then PO is equals to T upon cos R, because of in the equation 1 you are observing that PO value is there. That's right. For finding out the PO we can do like this one. Cos R is equals to T upon PO. Then PO is transferred to this side. PO cos R is equals to T. Then PO equals to T upon cos R. It is the equation number 2. So from the equation 1 and the equation 2 are this PO value, substitute in the equation 1 in the place of PO. So from equation 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2. So what is the first equation? X is equals to okay, PO sine of I minus R, for simple purpose. X equals to PO sine of I minus R. Then X is equals to, what is the PO value? T upon cos R. T upon cos R into sine of I minus R. This is the formula to find what is the one? Lateral shift or lateral displacement produced by the rectangular glass slab. Here X is the lateral shift or lateral displacement. T is the thickness. Sine of I minus R, it is the angle, this one. Cos R, this is the angle. X one we can find. From this one also we can find the T value or not. T is what is that one? Thickness of the slab. So now here one more thing you are observing that here. So this is simply we can write X is equals to T into what we can write? Sine of I minus R upon cos R. Simply we can write. So this is the formula, either this one or that one. That is the formula of lateral shift or lateral displacement produced by the body. We can find with help of this equation. Here X is the lateral shift, T is the thickness of the glass slab. That's right. From that formula we can find two physical quantities. Two things. One is thickness of the glass slab, another one is the lateral shift or lateral displacement. Next one. Principle of reversibility. Principle of reversibility. It is important for 1 mark in 10th standard level, mainly for the public point of view, public examination point of view. What is the principle of reversibility means? Simply, the path of the light is reversible. The path of the light is reversible. That is called principle of reversibility. Listen very carefully. So what is called principle of reversibility, or how to define means the path of the light is reversible. That is principle of reversibility. So this is experiment I proved in the next video. But just today I will give a small explanation about this one for understanding of you. It is a rectangular glass slab. A, B, C, D its boundaries. We know that. It is the incident ray. It is the refracted ray. It is the emergent ray. But we consider only incident and refracted ray only. This is the angle I. It is the angle R. It is, we can say that X, O, Y, Z. We can say simply. But we don't want which one YZ because our concept is what is the principle of reversibility. The path of the light is reversible when it is possible, means when the light is travel from rarer medium to denser medium or denser to rarer for a suitable angle of incidence. So that's why it comes observing that here. NM is the normal for OAB. Okay, so it is the incident ray. Now, for example, so it is which medium? Denser medium. It is which medium? Rarer medium. Because of it is the edge, it is the glass slab. That is, we know that. So the path of the light is reversible, means here according to this diagram, the light ray is passing through rarer medium initially and fall onto the surface of the glass slab or refracting surface, and the light ray will be refracted. How we can find? We know that by using the two things concept only. I will show practically in the next video. So it is it is called refracted ray. It is the normal. The angle between refracted ray and normal is called angle of refraction. Now here we are observing that XO is the incident ray, OY is the refracted ray. So here we are observing that light will be travel X to O, then O to Y. That is okay, we know that. When light travel from rarer medium to denser medium, here the angle I is, for example, 30 degrees. Just we can say that. When angle I is 30 degrees, what is the angle R? I say that angle I is 10, angle R is 6.5, angle I is 20, that is the 13, angle I is 30, what is that one? 19.5. That's why this value is 19.5 angle R practically. That's another we can. So this is one. Next, what we can do? If light is travel from rarer to denser, so the light will be travel X to O and O to Y, this path. Next, reversibility is nothing but if the light is travel from denser to rarer, means the angle of incident, okay, in the denser medium means this path only. In this path, in the next time, the light travel from where to where? Denser medium to rarer medium. At that one, this refracted ray we can see as the incident ray. Means the laser light will be focused on this one. The angle I is equals to, means first here, light travels from rarer medium to denser medium. In this one, angle I is equals to 30 degrees and angle R is equals to 19.5. Next, if light travel from denser medium to rarer medium, angle I is equals to 19.5. Why? Because of means what is the refracted ray? Through that one only we can allow the light. Means okay, laser light will be focused. That's why light travel from denser to rarer means this angle R we can say as a angle I in the reverse mode. Angle I is equals to 19.5. Then angle R is equals to 30 degrees. Means if the light is follow this one, this is the incident ray, it is the refracted ray. So means what you are observing here, initially when the light is travel from rarer to denser, X O is the incident ray, O Y is the refracted ray. But when the light is travel from denser medium to rarer medium for the same this angles. But here, okay, so if the light is travel like this one, it is the angle of it is the incident ray, it is the refracted ray. Means YO is the incident ray, OX is the refracted ray when light travel from denser to rarer. Are understanding or not? So when the light is travel from rarer medium to denser medium, particular angle of incident and refraction, the path of the light is reversible when we can do the experiment in the reverse mode. Means Here initially light travel from rarer to denser, angle I is 30, angle R is 19.5. But next in the reverse path, angle I is 19.5, angle R is 30. Already you know that when light travel from rarer to denser, angle of incident always greater than the angle of refraction. If light travel from denser to rarer, angle of incident is lesser than the angle of refraction. That's why the path of the light does not change. Initially, light travel from rarer medium to denser, XO, OY. This is the path. If light travel from denser medium to rarer medium, YO, OX. This is the way of that. This is called principle of reversibility. This is, we should be right. Mu of 2,1 is equals to 1 by mu of 1,2. Is it correct? Already I put practically. Mu of 2,1 means refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. Which is the second medium? Glass. Which is the first medium? Air. That's why refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. What we can write actually? Mu 2 upon mu 1. So mu 2 upon mu 1 we should be write as 1 upon mu of 1,2. Why? Because of, okay. So already we know that mu of 1,2 is equals to mu 1 upon mu 2. That's why here mu 1 upon mu 2 means it brings the numerator side mu 2 upon mu 1. So that what we can write means the principle of reversibility mu of 2,1 or n of 2,1 is equals to mu of 2,1 is equals to 1 upon mu of 1,2, or mu of 1,2 is equals to 1 upon mu of 1. If so, this is represented when light travel from denser rarer medium to denser medium. It is denser to rarer. Means for this one, it is in which mode? Reverse mode. That's why this is called principle of reversibility. It is nothing but the path of the light is reversible for the suitable angles. That's why when light travel from rarer to denser, XO is the incident ray, OY is the refracted ray. If light is travel from denser to rarer, for this one, this is the incident ray, it is the refracted ray for this type of angles. That's why. So the path of the light is reversible. That is also practically we can prove mu of 2,1 is equals to 1 by mu of 1,2. Means is nothing but the refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first one is inversely proportional or reversible. Or mu of 1 of 2 means refractive index of the first medium with respect to the second one is the reverse of which one? Refractive index of the second for the one. That's why. So this is the principle of reversibility. It is very, very important. Just what you can do during the examination when they are asking this one means you can write this definition and write either this one or this, any one of the formula. The path of the light is reversible. Then mu of 2,1 is equals to 1 upon mu of 1,2. So maximum tomorrow video I must be showing practically about sin I by sin of is equals to cancel, lateral shift and principle of reversibility. Thank you.